Welcome to Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium in Charleston, South Carolina. Week 2 SFL action live on YouTube as you're going to watch the Charleston Predators take on the Jacksonville Kings. Well, welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Eric Vincent here alongside Brandon Walters. We've got Damon Simeon and Frank Gooden in the stats truck for us this evening. And Brandon, we got two 0-1 teams. Someone is going to get a W tonight.
Yeah, two teams that didn't start the season off the way that they might have preferred. Charleston obviously falling in a close game against Florida, who were the champions last season. So that's got to give them a good bit of confidence coming in here. Meanwhile, Jacksonville, a team that you'd probably say is in a rebuilding period, losing in week 1 to Denver, a team that they would probably look at and think that might be one of the easier games on their schedule here. But it's a divisional game here. Anything can happen. I think both teams are going to be looking to improve on offense, especially from their first outings. But I think this is going to be a really interesting and quite exciting game.
I would agree with that. First meeting between these two teams as division rivals, as they are now part of the restructured Eastern Conference in the SFL, or Eastern Division, I should say, in the SFL. It is a clear night, but very chilly out. 36 degrees currently here in Charleston, as the hometown Predators will get the football to start things off, and we are underway. Out of the back of the end zone, no chance for a return, and the Predators will set up shop from the 20-yard line with John Lakeman at the helm. 6'5", 230, second season here in Charleston.
He had a bit of a struggle in week 1 against Florida. 16-36, that's 44% completion percentage. 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions here. I think he really needs to get things under control this week if he wants to have a good rebound and get the season going the way that they want.
Coming out with an I formation to start things off. Handoff right up the middle for a gain of 2 or 3. That's Nick Hoagland, one of the running backs you'll see in this offense. The other is going to be Saren Storm, Terrell Sutherland, Brad Taylor Wright are the fullbacks. Honus Adobe, Ian Francis, Brittington James, Davius Reed, and Benjamin Warner are the wide receivers. We'll get a look at the offensive line and the tight ends following this play. I formation again, handoff. This time tries to bounce it off tackle, but no doing there as Saren Storm gets the carry, gets maybe 1. Leon Sandcastle and Xavier Solomon are the tight ends. DeBrickashaw Molino, Perrin Ibarra are the tackles. Leroy James, Finley James are the guards, and St. Nebuchadnezzar is the center, number 62, for this 3rd and 6. Jacksonville showing pressure. They'll send it. Lakeman got to toss it outside. Has a man. Good shed of the tackle there. Close to first down yardage. It's going to be marked just shy, and it'll be a 3 and out for Charleston.
Yeah, nice first series here for the Jacksonville Kings defense. They played pretty well against Denver. I think they were a little bit unfortunate to give up 29 points to the Night Wings here, but it's a good first series here in Charleston. Try and quiet this home crowd down a little bit and get some momentum for your offense here. If they have a good return on this punt, they might have some really nice field position for the Kings offense.
Eric Blueberry going to send the football down. Fair catch called for, made at the 40-yard line by number 16, Joe Beasley. And that's where the Jacksonville Kings will take over on offense. They are led by O.J. Bruin.
O.J. also didn't have a great game in week 1 against Denver. 13 of 27 for only 138 yards passing, 1 touchdown to 3 interceptions, and he took 2 sacks here. I think the running game is definitely going to have to help him out. Sean Sanders and Shepard Vicarian had a decent game against Denver, but I think they really need to establish some ground and pound.
Kingston Ellington in motion, I formation. It'll be a pass to start things off. Bruin over the middle, ricochets off the defender and falls incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Jim Copeland Jr., and it falls to the turf.
A lot of traffic there. I think there was 3 or 4 Charleston Predators there waiting for that one, and it ends up being Khalil Thomas, number 58, the outside linebacker, who gets the credit for the pass deflection there. OJ trying to start off with a tight window throw here. Might want to take something a little bit easier to get into this rhythm.
We'll see if he does that here in this second down. Still in an I formation. Each receiver on either side of that formation. Toss play. Trying to go off tackle, but good defense there by Charleston. Stops him right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing for Vicarian.
There was Khalil Thomas again there on the tackle. Another quick play there. 3rd down and 10 here. You're probably going to have to sling the ball a decent distance here. OJ is going to have to be looking out for his receivers. But he's got a good few weapons to look at here on this receiving core for the Kings. So I think he has some targets he can look to and try and lean on.
4 wide for Bruin. Pocket collapsing, fires it, and incomplete. There is a penalty marker on the play. We'll see what that's all about.
Probably defensive pass interference here. It looked like Bruin threw the ball a little bit behind his intended target, and while he was trying to come back to it, the Predator defender was kind of in the way there. Maybe, getting a little bit handsy early on.
And once again, Khalil Thomas in there, and you're right, just a little bit too early on that play there.
We've been calling his name so far very often, though, Khalil Thomas. He's been involved, maybe not always in a positive way, apparently, but certainly looking to be involved.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew so far. That one play just being the negative blemish on his evening so far. Unfortunately for him, it results in the 1st down for Jacksonville. Bruin going to air one out, far sideline, incomplete. It was tight coverage out there along that far sideline, and Connor Weston couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, Mark Martin had Connor Weston all locked up there on the boundary, and Bruin trying to fit another tight throw in, but Charleston's been doing a really good job of locking down, keeping very tight man coverage so far on all of his targets. So definitely going to be, if they continue to keep up this kind of man coverage, it might not be another good night for Bruin here.
Offset, 3 wide. Bruin shuffles, fires, caught near the 40-yard line. Going to be marked just shy of the line to gain. That's Weston again.
There's a very quick hit there from the defense, but not able to jar the ball out of Weston's hands here. Jacksonville beginning to build a little bit of a drive here, not running the ball too much at all. Lots of passes from O.J. Bruin, but they're getting close to field goal range, aided by that great starting field position they had.
Courtesy of the defensive pass interference penalty. Handoff goes to the fullback. He's going to be stopped short. Did not get it. The Charleston defense stops them on 3rd down.
Yeah, it's an interesting play call here. Jacksonville does not actually have a contracted fullback, so that was I believe that was a wide receiver there who took that. It was
Dot Williams, the tight end.
Dot Williams, tight end, yes.
Instead, we're going to see a punt. This is Liam Price. See if he can pin the Predators back deep. It's going to bounce. No, it's going to be fielded on the run and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Little shifty move there from Ian Francis, the former Tulsa Desperado, and Charleston's got decent field position here.
That's a good way to give your special teams coordinator a bit of a heart attack, though. Take a running start at the punt and grab it with your hands over your head. Definitely not what they teach you, but I suppose it works out for Charleston here. Starting out in the gun on this drive.
Yeah, Lakeman's got a back on either side of him in the gun. He will throw, has time, over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Honus Adobe and couldn't quite reel that one in.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of traffic there between some of the Predators receivers coming in those crossing routes over the middle there. Lakeman might have thought that they were trying to get to a landmark that they just hadn't reached yet by the time that he threw the ball there. Unfortunate to miss it, because I think they would have had a good chance at some yards after the catch there against that little bit of a softer Jacksonville coverage.
Instead, it's going to be a 2nd down, I formation. Lakeman will hand it off. Good running room there for Hoagland, and he's going to get the 1st down and more out across the 30-yard line. That'll move the sticks.
That is a really great run for Nick Hoagland there. And that's something we're going to need to see from this Charleston run game that had a really tough time sledding against Florida last week. Nick Hoagland in that game had 15 carries, but only 38 yards. It's just an average of about 2.5 yards a carry. So definitely he's going to need to get a little bit more momentum coming into this game. And that run right there, getting over 10 yards in 1 carry, is definitely a good way to start him off for tonight.
It's going to bode well for this offense if they can get a run game going. Lakeman going to pass this time. Pocket collapsing. Throws it. Dangerous. Incomplete. Could have easily been picked off, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, young Vaught there sitting underneath that route there. Clangs right off of his hands. Lakeman pretty lucky there probably to get away with not throwing an interception. That's a little bit dangerous. Both these quarterbacks had their struggles in week 1 with turning the ball over through interceptions here. I think whichever team is going to be able to rein that back a little bit this week is going to have a much better chance of coming out victorious here.
Lakeman sends a man in motion. I formation again. Lakeman fires, caught near the midfield stripe. And that's going to be a first down for Davius Reed, number 18, 13th season in the league.
A very good catch from the experienced wide receiver there, coming right over the middle there. Lakeman waiting on it, and throws it right as he gets to his landmark and gets popped there by the Kings defender, number 29 there. That was a very, very nice catch to hold on to that through contact there. And now Charleston starting to build up a little drive of their own here.
From just past midfield, just into Jacksonville territory, first down for the Predators. Reed goes in motion to the top of the formation. Handoff goes to Hoagland, who gets maybe a few yards there. Good stop. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. We'll look at the Jacksonville defense quickly. Taekwon Hale, P. Fedor are the defensive ends. Logan Gardner at defensive tackle. John Martin, Dallas Knowles, John Patrick Levine, and Tika Clay are the linebackers. K. Magic, Havo Ramsey, Bernard Gooden, and Roy Towers are the corners. Yun Vaught, Justin Andalus, Alex Bond, and Dylan Bamseller are the safeties. Handoff this time goes to Storm. Storm powering ahead, and Saren Storm has a first down for the Charleston Predators.
Storm's first carry of the night here, and that's a really nice one there for him to get another good chunk of yardage here. Jacksonville usually tends to be pretty good at stopping the runs. They were first in the league last season in tackles for loss here at Jacksonville, but this running game is starting to get a good bit of rhythm here going. Charleston building a nice drive here. I think probably another 5, maybe 10 yards, and you'll be in a solid field goal range here to get the first points of the board.
Handoff this time, Hoagland trying to find space. He does, breaks it out near sideline, spin move, and gets first down yardage out to the 25-yard line.
Wow, talking about a tight hole for Nick Hoagland there. I thought he was going to go down behind the line for sure here, but just manages to squeeze through the gap there between that right tackle and right guard, and then pops it out, and Jacksonville's secondary just not in a position to be able to rally to that one quickly here. Nick Hoagland's having a really nice hot start to the game here. 4 carries, but already 33 yards rushing.
Yeah, the run game has been looking strong so far between Hoagland and Storm. Hoagland being the feature back so far in this offense. Lakeman going to swing it out to Storm this time, who's got plenty of running room, and he's going to have a first down near the 10. They'll mark him down there and give him a first and goal.
I really love that play call. Those kind of little swing passes to the running backs, they're essentially a run in that they don't really carry any risk of turning the ball over in terms of an interception here, and allows your running back to get out in space. Jacksonville dropped a lot of defenders back there, probably looking for a shot to the end zone possibly, and it gives plenty of room for Saren Storm to get running and get another first down here. Now 1st and goal. Can Charleston punch it into the end zone, or can Jacksonville stiffen up here?
Perfect play call there for the Predators as they mark it just inside the 10 for this 1st and goal. Lakeman going to fire it. End zone, tipped in, incomplete. There were plenty of white jerseys in the area, an ill-advised throw, but it's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Dylan Bamsler there breaking that one up, and I think it still ended up very, very close to Benjamin Warner there, who was the intended target on that pass, but just not able to reel it in off the deflection. That is quite a dangerous pass, though, looking towards the corner of the end zone, but looked like Jacksonville was ready for that one. I'd expect them to try and go back to the run game here.
Bamsler, the 6th overall pick in the most recent SFL rookie draft. Lakeman going to throw again, test it, end zone again, incomplete. Good defense by number 20 this time, Yun Vaught. Davius Reed, the intended receiver.
Yeah, I think Reed might have had a decent chance at it here. Ooh, good hit though. Young Vaught with nice coverage, kind of getting his hands in at the last second, and then when he sees that he's not able to really get his hands on the ball coming in, just decides to hit Davius Reed to make sure that he can't bring in that pass and secure that touchdown here. 3rd and goal. Jacksonville's looking stiff so far in the red zone.
Looks like they might be sticking with the pass here. They got 4 wide, single back, Lakeman under center. Lakeman will throw. He fires. End zone incomplete, but a penalty marker.
I think that may have been Young Vaught there with defensive pass interference in the end zone.
And that's exactly who they're going to call it on. It's going to be a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line as we get another look.
Yeah, that's just sloppy play there on 3rd down. You got to try and make sure that you're not going to take a bonehead penalty like that, because now the Predators are on the 1-yard line, and with the way they've been running the ball with Hoagland and Storm so far, you'd assume that they're going to be able to punch it in pretty quickly here.
See if they decide to go with the run game. Instead, Lakeman is going to throw. He's going to swing it out to Hoagland, who walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Predators.
Wow. Interesting play call there, but I like it, actually. Jacksonville coming out in that goal line set there, really sending a lot of people into the backfield, anticipating a run. But instead, they go with the pass, which gets the backs out of the backfield very quickly there. And Jacksonville just doesn't have enough people to keep markers on them, man markers. So the running backs are both wide open, and Lakeman just decides to swing it off to Hoagland here. First touchdown of the night.
Extra point up and good. 7-0 your score. 11 plays, 79 yards for the Charleston Predators there as they take the lead early on. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your play today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Short kick fielded at about the 10-yard line. Trying to find some space and makes it out to about the 32. Good starting field position there for Beasley and the Kings as they try to answer that touchdown drive from Charleston.
Charleston's defense was really stiff against them, though, last time. O.J. Bruin was having a lot of trouble throwing the ball. Only one completion out of the 3 attempts that he had. So I think that they really need to try and figure out exactly what this Charleston defense is trying to cover off, trying to get them to make mistakes and go away from that somehow. I really do think that the running game needs to get involved here.
A little delayed handoff this time. Plenty of open space as they busted off tackle close to the 40-yard line. And it's going to be a gain of 8 as Shepard Vicarian gets the carry there.
Nice carry for Vicarian. The draw play there looked like they were trying to lean into the assumption that, hey, we've been passing the ball a lot so far on our first drive here. We're going to look like we're going to come out and pass again to start off the second drive here and get Charleston to drop off. But no, we're going to hand it off to Vicarian and let him get a good head of steam because the linebackers are going to drop back into coverage here. They're not going to be ready to stuff those holes.
Agreed. Very good play call there to start things off. They're going to go with it again. This time up the middle is going to be the second back, Sean Sanders, who is able to get the first down for Jacksonville.
2 draws in a row here. You might have to be careful with that, though, because the problem with these kind of misdirection plays like a draw is the more that you use it, the more the defense will be expecting it. So you might want to try and keep that in the pocket a little bit longer here and go with maybe just a straight-up run here for Jacksonville now.
Offset eye. Again, they're going to go delay, but this time Charleston ready for it as Vicarian was having a little bit of trouble getting out of the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like he just got a little bit stuck up on his offensive line there. But a nice tackle from Dan Dash there to get around the inside, get into the interior of the backfield and bring him down quickly there. 2nd and 10. Now you might see them go a little bit away from those draw plays now because you've run it 3 times in a row here.
They do go away from it. Bruin's going to throw, finds a man, but the hit jarred the football loose. Kingston Ellington couldn't hang on, brings up 3rd and long.
It's unfortunate for Ellington to not be able to hang on to that one. I think he had a good shot at it because the hit was coming in from the deep safety position there, but he's got an uncontested chance to really catch that ball with his chest and get in the way of it there. I really think he could have done better to reel that one in.
4 wide fans here in Charleston on their feet. Bruin takes the snap, pressure coming, shifting, fires in the middle, and it's caught. Connor Weston somehow reels that one in amongst 3 black jerseys, and that'll move the sticks.
That was a great catch and great composure from O.J. Bruin here. Looked like he was about to take a big shot there from, I believe that was Dan Dash, again, coming into the backfield there. But he stands in and makes the throw that he needs to make to get that first down. That's the kind of composure that you want to see from your quarterback. Standing in the pocket, knowing he's going to take a big hit while delivering this pass, and doing it anyways, getting a first down, keeping the drive alive.
2 minutes to go in the opening frame. Ellington in motion, heavy I formation here. For heavy formation in general, single back. Bruin's going to throw. Time running out in the middle, and that's caught for an interception. A diving attempt there made by number 21, Jacob Clear. His 4th season here in Charleston, and he scooped that right off his shoelaces.
Wow, that's a great interception there. I thought for sure that would have been out of reach of everyone there. Bruin had all kinds of time in the pocket there, but the pass just seemed to be a little bit off target there. Jacob, great job by him to get down and get to that one. Fantastic interception here. And now, Jacksonville was building a lot of momentum here. You might think they would have been getting in position to score some points of their own there on that drive. But now Charleston gets the ball back here. And if they can nail on another touchdown or even just a field goal, really, if you can make it a 2-score game here, that might be something that could possibly deflate Jacksonville's morale even more here.
Lakeman gonna fire, almost gave it right back, as that was a dangerous throw over towards Alex Bond.
Wow, game of hot potato going on here between Lakeman and Bruin right now. Oh man, Alex Bond, that's a tough one to make though, but because he was running towards the center of the field there, and then the pass actually ends up coming behind him. He kind of has to almost jump backwards to try and get hands on that interception there. And he does get hands on it, but just not able to reel it in, unfortunately, for Jacksonville. Would have been a massive turnover to get.
Lakeman taking his time, finally gets the snap off, fires it quickly, and finds a man near the 35-yard line. Davius Reed with another catch, and that'll move the sticks once again for Charleston.
Yeah, Reed with another good catch here. Looks like the primary target for John Lakeman so far tonight for Charleston. That's a nice catch, kind of having to, twist and contort your body a little bit to get back around to that one. But good placement by Lakeman. Kind of leads him in a way so that way he's not going to end up taking a big shot there if he goes to the ground, which he does. That's a nice play by Charleston here. And another good drive starting off here, although we haven't seen much of the running game tandem yet.
We'll see if they get into it here with a little bit of breathing room. Following that big play there by Davius Reed. Pressure coming. Lakeman throws it off his back foot, somehow gets it complete, and yardage to boot. Over the middle, out across the line to gain. And that was Benjamin Warner, the wide receiver, second year here in Charleston, and he'll get the first down.
Warner with a nice catch there, but Lakeman, that's definitely not what your coaches teach you during training. They tell you if you're going to make a throw, you got to plant your feet and get a solid base so that way you can really get your power into it there. Lakeman throwing off his back foot looked a little bit wobbly, possibly a little bit suspect, but lucky for him, there's no Jacksonville Kings in the area, and Benjamin Warner's able to catch it and make some good work after the catch.
Definitely a bit surprising, throwing it off your back foot and you're able to get a first down. That's not exactly how you draw it up. And we're going to see our first carry of this drive to Hoagland as he gets 5 out across the midfield into Jacksonville territory.
Looks like this outside for the Jacksonville defense is a little bit more suspect than the interior. Hoagland's had a good time running on the outside here, maybe even between the guard and the tackle, or even outside of the tackle sometimes on these more sweeping runs to the outside here. Looks like a possible vulnerability in Jacksonville's defense that they could exploit.
Handoff again, this time to Darren Storm. Shuffles his feet and is able to get first down yardage once again for Charleston. As we close the first quarter on that run, looks like we're getting the running game involved a little bit more in this Charleston offense as they have a 7-0 lead over the Jacksonville Kings at the end of one. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Eric Vincent here, Brandon Walters there. We've got Damon Simeon and Frank Gooden in the stat truck for us this evening. Chilly night here in Charleston, clear, but 36 degrees at kickoff. So a little bit of a nip in the air as we start this second quarter. Lakeman fires, caught, and a diving catch made by Benjamin Warner, and that's going to be a gain of 5.
That's a tight catch to make there because Tigga Clay was right there, the outside linebacker, basically diving over Benjamin Warner there, trying to break that pass up or land a big hit or, just impede the offense in some way here. Lakeman's been doing well with these little short passes over the middle here, though. It looks like Charleston's kind of found a way to get their receivers involved with these quick passes.
Handoff to Storm, this time going nowhere as the Jacksonville defense was ready for it. John Martin with the stop there.
The running game has been pretty good so far for Charleston. Both their running backs averaging over 5 yards per carry so far tonight here. But that one stuffed in the backfield there. Terrell Sutherland, the fullback, got that one and just not able to really build up the head of steam and get out of the backfield in time before Jacksonville was able to rally to the ball.
Lakeman gonna fire, one-handed grab by Warner, and he makes the grab for a first down near the 25-yard line. What a play by the Charleston tight end.
It's already his third target on this drive here. Benjamin Warner's getting a lot of looks from John Lakeman. Fantastic catch, though. Leaping into the one-handed grab, takes the hit, and still manages to reel it in here. Definitely in field goal range now for the Predators here, but, you know, they're looking towards the end zone. They want to get another touchdown, make it 14-0 on Jacksonville here at home, and give their fans something to cheer about.
Lakeman throws again, this time incomplete. By the way, that catch by Benjamin Warner, that's the Nice Hands catch, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K 23.
Good play there by the Jacksonville defense. Looked like, again, Lakeman looking for a landmark to be hit for one of his receivers across the middle there, and a good job by the Kings linebackers to get in the way, not commit pass interference by impeding receivers, but just kind of be inconvenient.
Lakeman's going to go down as the pocket collapsed around him a little bit too quickly. Tyquan Hale, 13 seasons, all with Jacksonville, and he makes the sack there.
He's showing off why he's a four-time All-Pro there. That's or an All-Star, excuse me. That is a very good sack there. Very quickly blew up that coverage there in the pocket. Lakeman's had a good pocket so far tonight. He's had a lot of time to throw, but that one, Tyquan Hale kind of putting his stamp on the game, saying, hey, this drive is going to go no further if I have anything to say about it. And now Charleston's really going to have to air it out, 3rd and 16.
Lakeman shuffling, looking, fires near sideline. Wide open is Benjamin Warner. 1st and goal for the Charleston Predators. How did he get that wide open?
I don't know, but really, you got to look at the Kings defense here. How can you not cover someone who's been getting so many targets on this drive here and leave him wide open on that sideline? Looked like they were just running a zone coverage there, and he escapes the underzone, and then the deep safety just doesn't really track him. You know, maybe not assuming that it's their responsibility yet to cover Benjamin Warner, but he finds a nice soft spot in that zone on the post route, makes a great catch here, and really Charleston escaping a big 3rd and 16 here. Now back within 1st and goal here.
Warner has caught all 4 of his targets for 50 yards. We'll see if they go his way again. Instead, it'll be a run. Saren Storm trying to find some room and gets maybe a gain of 1.
Trying to find some room, but there's not much room to be found down here in the deep red zone. The field just gets so compressed when you get down here. There's so much less room, both for the runs and for passes here when you get down here, which is why I think that typically misdirection and trying to fool the defense is one of the best tools you can have in your toolbox as an offensive coordinator when you get down here where it's so tight, yards are at such a premium.
Straight up the middle, Hoagland dragging bodies into the end zone, and that's a touchdown for Charleston as they go up 2 scores.
And that's the other way to do it there. You just get some power going. Great run by Nick Hoagland there, dragging a Kings defender into the end zone. Good blocking there to secure a lane for him. And Charleston now, Predators going up 14-0, looking really good here so far tonight. OJ Bruin's really going to have to step on the gas for the Kings here to try and get them back into this game, but he's not playing too well so far tonight. 2 of 6 for only 23 yards and an interception for him so far tonight. The Kings offense really needs to do some soul searching and figure out what they need to be doing better in order to stay in this game here.
Extra point by Brechet is up and good. 14-0 your score. 13 plays, 80 yards. Capped off by that touchdown, and they capitalize on that turnover. The diving interception by Jacob Clear, and Charleston is able to add 7 points as a result of that.
Another very long drive for the Predators here. I think they came out on their first drive, and Jacksonville did a really good job of shutting them down, but ever since then, they've been able to build some really nice, really long drives here. Maybe, of course, aided by some defensive pass interference penalties here and there. But really, they've been doing a good job of mixing the run and the pass together and getting guys open, getting good looks.
So the Kings will set up shop at the 20. Following the touchback by Ellington. Single back formation, 3 wide. Bruin. All right, apologies for the delays, folks. A little bit of an issue up at HQ, looking into it, got everything all sorted out, and we are back and live with a 2nd and 10 here for Jacksonville. First down play was a 0-yard run, so nothing to worry about. Didn't miss a thing, as Connor Weston is now giving you something to cheer about. He gets a first down for Jacksonville.
Connor Weston really has been the focal point for this Kings passing attack. That's already his 4th target, and he's caught 3 of them for 33 yards so far going on tonight. Connor Weston has been a big lean for O.J. Bruin. He's been someone that he can rely on, someone he can depend on to get open, have good hands, make catches here. I would like to see him spread it out a little bit more, maybe get some other pass catchers a little bit more involved, because the problem is Charleston's probably going to start trying to key in on him.
Single back, Bruin. 3-step drop, looking, fires near sideline into traffic, but it's caught by Copeland Jr. as he'll get about maybe 6 or 7 on the play. 2nd down is short.
They're very dangerous, though. There, Khalil Thomas, someone whose name we've been calling all night tonight, was right there. Very tight coverage there, but O.J. Bruin manages to fit that one in. I think he got a little bit. He saw that Thomas had his back facing to Bruin, so he was able to kind of put it up top and know that he wasn't really going to interfere too much.
Handoff goes to the fullback, who's actually tight end, Dot Williams, and Williams is going to get the first down for Jacksonville. They finally got a decent drive going here. It took them about midway through the 2nd quarter, finally getting some traction on the offense.
But thankfully, they're not down too much, so you can kind of forgive a little bit of that slow start offensively here. I'm still looking for them to really get their run game involved. They have not had much success on the ground.
We'll see if they do so here on this first down. Toss play, trying to bounce it outside. Charleston ready for it there, as that was good defense to stop Vakarian from going anywhere. In fact, to lose a yard.
And that's what your defensive coaches will tell you is the most important thing about stopping the run. Rally to the ball, get to the ball as quickly as possible. We want as many people as possible near the ball as quickly as possible to really just make sure that the running back has no chance to do anything.
Bruin to throw. One-handed grab by Weston. It was tight coverage out there on the near sideline by Mark Martin, and Weston is somehow able to reel that one in.
Connor Weston is playing out of his mind so far tonight for the Kings. He's been the one shining light so far on this pass attack. Jim Copeland Jr. also has a few catches, but Connor Weston's really just running things through the air right now. That's a great catch on the boundary.
It has definitely been Weston and Copeland as the 2 targets for Bruin this evening. We'll see if he can spread it out here as they get in field goal range close to the red zone. Bruin to throw again. Has time. He's going to gun it, and he's got another first down. This time to Kingston Ellington. Finally gets a catch to him, and that's going to be 1st and goal.
That was a nice play there. The coverage was tight there, man coverage from Charleston, but a very nice little route going over the middle of the field there. Just gets enough separation to be able to catch that one. The Charleston defender was sitting right there. That was Mark Martin on the coverage. Very tight coverage, but Bruin places the pass well, allows Ellington to get that one, and now Jacksonville has a chance 1st and goal here.
Trying to narrow the gap here as we approach the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Bruin, delayed handoff, and Vakarian again bottled up in the backfield. Good defense by Gina McFly, the outside linebacker, just putting a stop to him right there.
I believe Matt Ryan was also involved there, the free safety, rallying quick to stop him there. I think Vakarian just looking for a hole that wasn't really there. I think he was starting to go inside, and then at the last second kind of changed his mind, says, no, I want to go outside. But by that point, it's too late. You just got to commit to the lane that you've chosen.
Bruin retreating, fires near sideline, incomplete, but a penalty marker, as that coverage might have been a little too close.
Yeah, I think Adam Nold is going to get told off by the official here. Hey, you can't get that close to him, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a 1st and goal at the Charleston, too. We'll get another look at it here, but it looked pretty plain in real time that he got there a little bit too early.
Ooh. Yeah, delivering their hit just a little bit early there. Ellington not able to really get a clean chance at a catch there from that hit from Nold. Lots of pass interference to start off this game so far tonight. I believe that's either the 3rd or 4th penalty that's been called in this game so far. And finally, one of them goes for Jacksonville here. Now, can this running game finally get some traction and get a touchdown here?
Vakarian's going to get the carry, and he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
It's a nice solid run from Vicarian, you know. When in doubt, just send it up the middle and hope that your blockers beat those guys on the defensive line. And that's what they did there. Jacksonville now going to pull it back to within a touchdown here. And considering that we're nearing the end of the first half here, I think that's a really big score here. And if the defense can stop Charleston from scoring on what might be possibly, depending, the last drive of this half here, I think you might go into this locker room saying, hey, you know, we're still down, but considering that we're in Charleston right now and we're holding them to within, you know, one possession, I think that would be a spot that Jacksonville would be reasonably happy with.
Extra point up and good from Jordan Bradshaw, so they narrow the gap to a one-possession game. 10 plays, 80 yards, capped off by that touchdown. And Jacksonville will get the second half kickoff as well, so a good opportunity here for the Kings to really get themselves back in the ball game, as they already have, honestly, and they've got an opportunity to take the lead.
Exactly, but the Kings defense is really going to have to step up here. The Charleston Predators offense has been really good so far these last couple of drives, building these long drives, getting the run and the pass involved, and it's just going to be, you know, you're going to have to see the Jacksonville Kings defense really step up here.
And we've got a game update from HQ. We'll toss it on over to Commissioner Cameron Irvine. Cam, what you got?
Thank you, Eric. Carolina was about to take the lead early in the third quarter when Matt South was looking for Bacigalupi in the back of the end zone, stolen by Jay Miraculous right at the goal line. 4 minutes to go in the third, same score, 13-7 Swarm in a defensive battle. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam. What a snag there by the Swarm defense to keep that out of the end zone. That was very impressive by Miraculous. Impressive uniforms there, too, for the Atlanta Swarm. As we've got a couple impressive teams, both sporting impressive uni combos today, as Hoagland gets a gain of 6 on that play.
Hoagland really has been doing a great job so far tonight. That'll be his 7th carry, 48 yards so far, a touchdown. He's averaging almost 7 yards a carry here. Really doing a great job just getting the tough yards here and really grinding through this Kings defense here. They're going to have to really key in on him, I think. Force Lakeman to throw the ball.
Hand off this time to Storm, trying to push his guy forward, and Jacksonville eventually gets there and stops him for a short gain of 1. It's a very important third down here as we get close to the 2-minute warning.
It's a nice play by Dallas Knowles, the rookie linebacker here, blowing that play up essentially almost in the backfield. Saren Storm manages to kind of battle through, maybe get 1 yard, but a nice job by Knowles to really stuff that run early, make sure that Storm's not able to bounce it outside, and then wrap up on the tackle.
Lakeman's going to throw on 3rd and short, far sideline and too far for his intended receiver. That was Benjamin Warner, who made an impressive grab along that far sideline a drive ago, and that's going to be a 3 and out. Jacksonville's going to get the football.
It's a very good defensive series there from Jacksonville. Benjamin Warner is the person that John Lakeman's been looking to a lot this game here, so you knew kind of that you had to lock him down. And I like the play call there on the defensive side to get the cornerback in that over coverage and just keep running along there. And thankfully, Benjamin Warner played along a little bit by running that streak route, and it means that Lakeman really just ended up sailing the pass.
Fielded just shy of the 20-yard line. Beasley's going to bring it up to the 28. And Jacksonville had 5 first downs on that previous drive. We'll see if they can replicate that success and get some more points on the board before the half, possibly tie it up.
This could be a really critical drive here. As you said, that Jacksonville's going to get the second half kickoff as well here. So really any kind of points in this 2-minute drill type of situation for the Kings really could lend itself to being a big momentum swinger. You're going into halftime feeling good. You get to make your second half adjustments and then come out again with the ball and potentially take a lead if you score again on that drive. This could be really critical to the game situation here for Jacksonville if they're able to get down the field and score some type of points. Even a field goal would be good.
Bruin will throw over the middle. Catch is made by Ellington with a nice spin move, and he gets out to the 45-yard line as we hit the 2-minute warning here in Charleston. Fireworks here finally getting going here in the second quarter of play.
It's a really great catch there for Ellington. I believe that's the second route now that he's run kind of over that middle there, and he's really been finding some nice space. Nice pass by Bruin.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube. 14-7 the score. Charleston on top, but Jacksonville with an opportunity to tie the football game up going into the half. Bruin with a delayed handoff. Vakarian powers his way forward and gets a gain of a couple. If you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Clock continuing to run, approaching 90 seconds. Bruin retreats, sets his feet, fires a little bit too tall for his intended receiver, and it's going to be 3rd and 8 with 1:33 on the game clock.
Sometimes that's the problem with being such a tall quarterback. You know, O.J. Bruin is 6'6", so maybe sometimes, you know, you might think that your receiver has a little bit more reach than he actually does, just because you're looking at it from such a high, you know, perspective, having that high height advantage in the quarterback room.
3rd and long. Bruin over the middle again and incomplete once again as the Charleston defense snaps shut and forces a punting opportunity here for the Kings.
That's a nice pass breakup for the Predators there. O.J. Bruin looking over the middle again there, where it seems like he likes to find most of his targets, and Charleston did a good job there making sure that that entire zone of the field essentially was a no-fly zone. And now Charleston's going to get the ball back here in about probably a minute 20, minute 15 maybe to try a drive of their own here.
Low snap, but Price gets it away. Fielded just shy of the 15-yard line. They'll barely get past the 15 to the 17 as Ian Francis takes the return there. Pretty even yards, I'd say, across the board, Brandon. It was looking like it was Charleston's ball game during that first quarter of play, but Jacksonville's rebounded nicely.
Jacksonville has definitely rebounded nicely here. They're making this game much more competitive, I would say. The rushing yards is still the one big discrepancy here that I'd like the Kings to kind of address going into halftime. Shepard Vakarian, the main running back, has 8 attempts for 11 yards running so far, and of those yards, 8 of them came on one run.
And we'll see a run right here from Charleston as they continue to chew the clock. That run was Brad Taylor Wright, the fullback. And no one seems eager to put a stop to the clock. We'll see if Charleston continues to chew some clock or if they are just kind of waiting and see here as it's under 60 seconds to go. Blakeman gonna pass, finally gets it away, and it's a short gain. Good coverage by by Jacksonville as Solomon makes the catch, but only a short gain of 3.
Yeah, very good coverage there. John Patrick Levine, the outside linebacker, making that tackle after not too much gain there. And you're right, it does look like Charleston is pretty content to just run out the clock here, not call any other timeouts, go into the locker rooms up 7.
We'll see what Jacksonville does, depending on how this 3rd down goes, though. 3rd and 5, under 30 to go. Both teams, all 3 timeouts. Lakeman has a good, clean pocket and a big throw. Incomplete. Good coverage by the Kings secondary. And with 24 seconds to go, Jacksonville may still have a crack here at maybe getting 3 points on the board.
Havo Ramsey with a nice pass break up there. I'm surprised that Lakeman targeted that interior seam route there because it looked like someone on the boundary was wide open if he decided to throw it that way. Looks like the coverage might just not have permitted that. But you're right here. Jacksonville's probably going to get the ball maybe around 15 seconds or so. They might try and either get in field goal range or maybe even just take a Hail Mary shot to the end zone if they don't want to run out the ball and just head into locker rooms.
And that was a boomer of a punt there from Blueberry as Jacksonville is going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. 15 seconds, all 3 timeouts to work with. They might be able to sneak into field goal range as Bradshaw's got a pretty good leg, but it's dicey at this point. Either way, they do get the second half kickoff. So really playing with house money here with this last 15 seconds.
Yeah, I wouldn't at all be surprised. You're just as you said, playing with house money. I think you really can take a couple shots down the field here and try and get in range, but it doesn't look like the Kings are too interested in that.
No, handoff goes to the tight end Williams, who lined up as a fullback, and that will probably do it for the first half of play. No, instead we're going to get a timeout, and with 3 seconds to go, Jacksonville finally decides to burn a timeout.
One last Hail Mary shot, I suppose, here.
Maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher, but we'll see what Frank Gooden and company have up their sleeves. Bruin sets his feet, fires, and a little bit too far as clock hit triple zeros, and we are heading to halftime. Charleston up 14-7 over Jacksonville in their first ever meeting as East Division rivals. And it's been a good back and forth ball game. We mentioned it a little bit earlier. Charleston had control of the first quarter. Jacksonville rebounding nicely in that second quarter there, and they will get the football to start the second half.
It's been a very methodical game so far. Both these offenses have taken their time moving down the field. You know, the penalties have been a big part of it as well. We've had some pretty critical pass interference calls getting made here that might give some drives more life than they would have otherwise had. But both offenses relatively, dink and dunk possibly might be the phrase to use, moving the ball down the field at a steady pace. Both teams trying to involve the run game as much as possible here. I think that Charleston has had a much better time on the ground than Jacksonville has, especially. Nick Hoagland has been running the ball really well so far for the Predators, and I think that if they can continue using him in the way that they have in the first half and really let him wear down this Kings defense over time, I think that they do still have a good chance to pull away. John Lakeman's also had a better game than O.J. Bruin so far as well here. And coming into this game, both quarterbacks had a really bad week one outing, so I think whichever quarterback is able to rebound better here in this game is going to give their team a big advantage, and so far it's been Lakeman.
Yeah, and Hoagland's the halftime player to watch as he scored 2 touchdowns in that first half, both touchdowns for Charleston. Jacksonville getting the football to start the second half off here, and they will start it from the 31-yard line, courtesy of Beasley. We'll get a look at the offense here for Jacksonville. We haven't done that yet. O.J. Bruin at quarterback, Sean Sanders and Shepard Vicarian, the running backs. Jonathan Haynes, King Alexander, Joe Beasley, Kingston Ellington, and Connor Weston, the wide receivers. Jim Copeland and Dot Williams, the tight ends. Brennan Ryan at tackle, Marcella Martin at guard, and Carly Forge at center, the rookie 47th overall pick.
A pick that definitely, I think, was one of the stories of the draft, Carly Forge falling down probably a long ways from where people were expecting her to be picked.
Handoff Vicarian, and he gets a good run there to start things off. Gain of 4, and we'll look at the Charleston defense while we have time. Anthony Robertson, Dan Dash, Anthony Ellison, and Forrest Dalton all on the front 4. Jack Brown, Mo Jontana, Gino McFly, and Khalil Thomas, the backers. Mark Martin, Adam Nold, and Corey Menner, the corners. Matt Ryan, Sam Blotner, Jacob Clear, and John Stamengo, the safeties.
Matt Ryan's been having a really great game. 4 tackles already in that first half. Oh, interception!
Oh, it's picked. And guess who? Khalil Thomas. He has been all over the map for Charleston's defense, and he gets a pick right here that shuts the door on Jacksonville's offense.
That's a fantastic interception. You're right. We've been calling his name a lot so far tonight. Just dropping into that zone there, sitting right under that route from Copeland Jr. And unfortunately for O.J. Bruin, that's his second interception of the night so far. Definitely been struggling with the turnovers so far this season. That's his 5th interception through 2 games.
And just when you thought Jacksonville was starting to finally get a rhythm going, that second quarter of action was a great quarter offensively for them. Despite only putting up 7 points, handoff goes to Hoagland, who's been absolutely phenomenal so far for the Predators defense. He gets 7 yards there, and that's a backbreaker right there, especially early on here in the second half.
It really is. You're coming out of the locker room, if you're Jacksonville, feeling pretty good about the way that first half ended and maybe looking forward to tying this game up with a drive to open the second half, and instead you pretty much instantly turn the ball back over to Charleston. They're almost guaranteed to score points here. It's got to be very rough and demoralizing for O.J. Bruin in that offense.
Saren Storm this time with the carry, and he'll get first down yardage for the Predators as they get coached up along the sideline there. It's been looking good for the Predators, and you've touched on it a couple different times, Brandon. It's been the run game that's been the difference. The run game has been very, very successful for this Predators offense, not so much for the Kings. Both teams, I'd say, pretty even across the board as far as the passing game is concerned, as they set up with a first down here. Handoff again, and it goes up the middle to Brad Taylor Wright. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
It has been. It seems like Charleston really has keyed in defensively on that run game here. As we've seen, the only times that Vicarian and Sanders are really able to get any room in the run game is when they run those draw plays where they're trying to essentially fake out the defense and make them think that they're passing. So whenever they've really been showing run, Jacksonville really has been shut down. Charleston's done a great job of being speedy on the defensive side and getting to the ball as quickly as possible.
Lakeman trying to get it to Xavier Solomon there, a little bit too far for him, and that sets up a 3rd and long. And I think you're right. Trying to use the delay as kind of an additional arm, so to speak, of the offense, trying to give them a little bit of extra momentum in that run game. It only works so much, and they ran it a ton in one drive. So we'll see how Jacksonville rebounds here. 3rd and 9. Lakeman with plenty of time. He's going to fire it end zone, incomplete. He was looking along that near sideline. 2 white jerseys in the area. Bernard Gooden, one of them. And that forces a 4th down and a field goal.
It's unfortunate for Gooden not to get an interception there. Again, Lakeman with a lot of time there, but just trying to force something that really I don't think was there at the time that he threw it there. Or at the very least, you got to get some more air under it and try and throw it to the back of the end zone. Make it a little bit more of an easier catch for your wide receiver here.
Bad snap, gets it down, and Brechet is able to boot it through. That'll make it a 10-point lead as Charleston was stymied by the Jacksonville defense. Good stop for the Kings there, and they'll get another crack at the football here in the 3rd quarter of play.
It's a good response from the Kings defense, coming out really, quicker than you certainly would have anticipated, and having to really stand up stiff there to make sure that Charleston doesn't score another touchdown and go make it 21-7 here. And they did a good job forcing Charleston to take a field goal instead, 17-7. A 10-point difference is not insurmountable if O.J. Bruin and this Kings running game really can get moving here and build a drive like they were towards the end of that first half.
Beasley with another good return. He gets out to the 36-yard line. Have you ever wanted to be a play-by-play or analyst or analyst broadcaster? Analyst? We are looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for this Major League season. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and get your voice on the call.
I just want to take a second to point out that stat we flashed on the screen there. 3rd down efficiency. Jacksonville's 2 for 4 so far tonight, but Charleston's only 3 for 7. So Jacksonville, when they're able to get Charleston into 3rd down situations, has been relatively good at getting them into 4th down and getting them off the field.
It has been a key stat this evening. Again, going back to the delayed handoff and fighting for yardage is Vicarian. He'll only get a couple, and that brings up 2nd down.
The Predators defense did a good job there, really just clogging the middle of that push there with bodies. As many people as they could fit in there, essentially, just trying to clog up the running lanes as much as they can and not able to really get much room there, even though it looked like the draw actually had a pretty good look that time.
Bruin with a quick fire this time and finds Copeland once again. This time for a 1st down. Jacksonville trying to get a decent drive together here after their defense bails them out with the field goal on that last possession for Charleston.
Yeah, O.J. Bruin with a nice throw there, putting it up high where only Copeland Jr. can really make an attempt at that one, although he does have to jump up for it. 9 of 17, 123, but the 2 interceptions really just are hurting his game so far right now. If he can stop turning the ball over and be a little bit more secure, I think he'll be in a good position.
Vicarian lowering his shoulder and burying defenders. That's probably been his toughest run of the evening as he gets a good chunk of yards, close to 1st down yardage.
His toughest and his best run, and again it comes on the draw play there. Vicarian's been decent coming out of these draw looks. He's been able to get a little bit more steam, I think, and the Charleston defenders are pretty quick to drop back when these pass looks are presented here, which is giving him a little bit more time just to kind of get some more open space, get some momentum going, and you could see it there when he trucks someone. If you can give him space and time to get running, he can really put a hurt on.
Sanders trying to get out of the backfield, but doesn't. Actually, don't mark him.
I do not agree.
1st down yardage there?
There is no way.
That is
Charleston
a
has to throw a challenge
spot.
Wow.
And no challenge called. Wow. That was well short of the line of game from our vantage point. But hey, a 1st down for Jacksonville as they continue to roll on this drive. Vicarian gets a short gain out to about the 40-yard line. You and I saw the same thing, clearly, Brandon.
Oh yeah, no, I don't agree with that spot at all. I think the chain gang definitely definitely gave them a little bit of help there. But I just want to quickly touch on Mark Martin. That is a fantastic play by a cornerback there on the outside. When the pitch comes out, you get off your block from the wide receiver that quickly and then shut down Vicarian, so that way he only gets a very short gain. That's a fantastic defensive play.
Sanders with a big gaping hole up the middle, and he'll get close to the line of gain again, and again he'll get a beneficial spot, as that'll be a first down once again for the Kings.
Yeah, again, a little bit of a spot that I might question, but it doesn't seem like they're going to challenge it all at all. Again, another nice draw run here from Jacksonville. It really seems like they're leaning on these draws to kind of get decent looks here, because every time they've essentially run the ball without running a draw play, they have been pretty convincingly shut down by this Predators defense.
Bruin's going to throw this time. He'll look towards the top, and that's incomplete. Good coverage locked up on Connor Weston. And that was once again Mark Martin, who's been very, very tough in one-on-one coverage.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job, especially because Connor Weston has been someone that O.J. Bruin's been looking the most at so far this game. He's made 4 catches on 6 targets, and he's definitely been their premier receiving threat. So for Mark Martin to really take him on one-on-one and shut him down as well as he has is really a credit to his defense. He's been playing very well so far tonight.
Bruin again, shuffles, looking, sets his feet, fires. Wide open man towards the top of the sideline there, and that is caught by Copeland Jr., gets inside the 5, first and goal for Jacksonville.
That's a great throw by O.J. Bruin there across his body, the lefty coming all the way back to the right side of the field there to make that throw. Just too much time there for O.J. Bruin, really. The Predators defense didn't get that pressure in, and their receivers managed to find some soft spots in the zone there, and then Bruin goes all the way across the field to make that throw there, and now you're in first and goal here. And considering the way they were able to punch it in the last time they were down here, I think Jacksonville's got to be pretty confident about being able to run it in again here and make it a 3-point game.
Vicarian's going to get the carry, try to find some room, and Charleston clamps it shut. Loss of maybe a yard, and that's going to bring up second and goal.
Just not the right vision there from Vicarian, really. I think he had a lane on the inside to at least get his shoulder down and maybe get a yard or two there, but instead he tries to bounce that outside, thinks that his blocker is blocking the, essentially sealing that edge, but no, there's more Predators defenders already still waiting on the outside of that, just waiting to wrap him up.
Sanders in the backfield. Weston goes in motion. Second and goal. Pitch to Sanders, bounces it, and he's got the corner. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
And like I mentioned earlier in the game here, misdirection is one of the key weapons that an offense has in its pocket when you're down here in this short red zone where yards are at such a premium here. You saw Weston go in motion from the right side to the left side, vacate a little bit of room, get those defenders maybe even just subconsciously looking at that left side of the play there, but then you pitch it out to Sanders. A good block there is able to seal the edge for him, and he just barely manages to escape a Predator who was chasing him there into the end zone. And now going to be a 3-point gap here for Jacksonville. Got to be feeling pretty good. And that was a very, very long drive here. I think probably about 4 minutes or so taken off the clock there.
Yep, 3.5 minutes, another 10-play drive for Jacksonville. Capped off with that short touchdown run by Sean Sanders. And now it's a 3-point ball game once again. And we'll see what Jacksonville can do on defense. If they can get a stop here and get the football back, Kings might be able to take the lead. Plenty of time left on the clock as Bradshaw boots it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
And the Kings defense has definitely been tough customers these last couple of drives here. Charleston's really not been able to do too much. They got a turnover and were only able to turn it into a field goal, which is essentially, kind of a given when you're in that kind of good field position there. And then before the half, even then, Jacksonville kind of shut down the 2-minute drill that Charleston was trying to run here. So definitely the Kings defense looks to be stiffening up a little bit. Let's see if they can continue that.
3 wide, offset eye. Lakeman going to throw. Finds the target, caught, and that's Warner for a first down right out the gate for Charleston.
A good job by Warner to find a soft spot in that zone coverage there from the Kings. That's his 7th target of the game so far, Benjamin Warner. Definitely the guy that Lakeman has been leaning on here. And it seems like he really likes these little inside posts coming over towards the middle of the field here. The timing on those throws is the most critical thing. You have to throw it right when the break comes to really try and fool those secondary members on Jacksonville. Lakeman's been doing a good job so far with his timing tonight.
5 catches, 69 yards this evening for Warner. Same formation for the Predators as Lakeman will throw again. Finds another target, this time Davius Reed out across midfield for another first down. Charleston is picking apart this Jacksonville secondary.
They're doing a good job here. I think that was Roy Towers, I believe, number 42 there for the Kings, who just absolutely blew up Davius Reed there. Yeah, it was. Wow, what a hit. Good catch there to hang on to that one, considering the hit that just got laid on. But, yeah, you're right. They are kind of doing a good job picking apart this defense here. Lakeman's accuracy so far to start off the second half has been pretty nice. He's been placing these balls into some pretty tight windows.
We'll see if they continue to go with the pass game, and they will. Pressure was coming, and Lakeman was wise to get it away quickly for a short gain of 5 out to Warner once again.
And that's something that we saw a lot of in the first half there. Lakeman kind of doing these quick little dump-offs on the crossing routes over the middle and letting his receivers do the work after the catch there. Good coverage from John Patrick Levine to kind of be waiting on that. You know, they identified that from the first half in the locker rooms during halftime. They made the second half adjustment, and he's right there to immediately tackle Warner.
Lakeman under center with under 3 to go here in the third. Handoff. Good for maybe a couple there, as that was given to Terrell Sutherland, the fullback. And it's going to be 3rd and short.
And that was another tackle by John Patrick Levine there. 2 plays in a row that he is right, very quick to the ball there, makes a nice tackle. 3rd and 2 here. Jacksonville has struggled a little bit stopping the run. Nick Hoagland can attest to that. He's had a very good game so far tonight. But if they can shut this down, I'm almost certain they'd be running the ball here. I don't really foresee a pass.
Got a bunch of the hefties out there for this 3rd and short. Lakeman is going to throw. Shuffles, looking, fires over the middle of the field, wide open is Warner once again, and that is another first down for Benjamin Warner in the Charleston offense.
I'm impressed. I thought that pocket was collapsing on Lakeman a little bit there. Looked like he had just enough time to find Warner on a very long developing route there. Good coverage from Jacksonville, but it just can't hold forever, and a nice catch from Warner here. Charleston continuing to move the ball in field goal range again here. And that would only give them a 6-point advantage here. So you have to think that they are definitely thinking touchdown. We want to get this to be a 2-possession, game again.
Handoff goes to Hoagland. Hoagland moving through the defense, weaving expertly as he gets another first down for the Predators. And that has been his story all night long. He has been able to find those holes even when there weren't any.
The vision there is fantastic. You see him bend outside at the beginning there, and then he comes up against his own wide receiver, Warner, there, laying a nice double block, essentially. Stopping 2 Kings from really getting past, but he knows the outside isn't really that open, so he bends it back inside past Warner and gets a nice amount of yardage. And then the toughness to really drag a defender there with him for another few yards.
Lakeman was looking for the tight end Solomon on that play. Good defense by the Kings, and that falls incomplete. Hoagland, 6.5 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, and he's looking to add a 3rd here with Charleston in striking distance.
Yeah, Nick Hoagland really has been having a good game. He's contributed in the passing game a little bit with that touchdown catch earlier. He's also been doing a really good job in the running game here. I think that they are definitely going to keep trying to lean on him, especially if they can build an even bigger lead. Look for them to really try and drain the clock out.
Handoff to Taylor Wright goes nowhere and brings up a 3rd and long here for Charleston with under 90 to go.
And you're probably going to have to see a pass coming out here from Lakeman, who looks like he's in the gun here, so almost certainly going to be a passing play here. And there's not much real estate to work with for Lakeman and the Predators, so they're going to have to really fit one in here or have a very, very nice route combination to get something busted wide open.
They've got an opportunity for the first down if they get to about the 2. Lakeman has plenty of time. Good pocket. He's going to take off and run. Slides down just inside the 10, and it's going to be well short of the line to gain. So Jacksonville's defense holds once again, and another field goal try will come on for Charleston.
Jacksonville's been having a very good bend but don't break mentality here in the second half, and they've done a good job of that. I like that decision from Lakeman. You know, see if you can get it with your legs, but don't force a pass. Don't turn the ball over. Take the points and take the 6-point lead here. And really, you know, it's been a struggle for Jacksonville to move the ball for most of the game. They built a couple of long drives, but Bruin has thrown a couple interceptions. The running game for the Kings has really not been there so far tonight. So I like the idea to kind of, you know, trust your defense to get a stop.
Field goal is good by Brechet, his 2nd of the evening. And as you mentioned, it keeps Jacksonville in this ball game. They've got an opportunity to take the lead. Still a whole quarter of action to go where anything is possible. And Jacksonville will get a short kick there, fielded just inside the 10. And Beasley will make it out to the 31-yard line. Another good return and more good starting field position for Jacksonville.
You're right. Jacksonville really has had some nice returns so far today. They've started their drives in some advantageous positions, you know, their own 30-yard line, even on a few occasions their own 40-yard line, which has been, you know, definitely a boon to their offensive production. When you start with that better field position, it just makes things so much easier because you just have less yards to go, less chances for the defense to mess with you.
Handoff, Vakarian burying a defender there as he lowers his shoulder and gets 7 yards.
I'm pretty sure that was John Stamango that he just put in the turf there, number 28. A great, tough run, though, from Vakarian. That's been really his calling card so far tonight when he's been able to get the most successes. Coming off those draw plays, gets him a little bit more momentum before the linebackers and the secondary get in position, and then he's really able to lower the shoulder on some of these guys.
Handoff goes to Sanders, and Sanders will get another first down as we come to a close here in the third quarter. Jacksonville making things interesting. It is only a 6-point game, and it seems like this run game is finally starting to come to life. 1 quarter to go. Get your fours up in the chat. We will pause for a moment for league rights. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music live on YouTube.
The of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. As we start the fourth quarter here in Charleston, South Carolina, handoff goes to Vakarian, who's slipping defenders and gets out across midfield for a 2nd and 5 coming up. Eric Vincent here, Brandon Walters there, Damon Simeon and Frank Gooden in the stats truck for us this evening. Crisp and cool, 36 degrees at kickoff, and it's been a great game back and forth. Jacksonville trying to take the lead here as we kick off the fourth quarter of action in opponent's territory. Handoff goes to the fullback, actually tight end Doc Williams, who gets another first down. Brandon, we're finally starting to see this run game come to life here.
Yeah, this run game really has been kind of getting a little bit of steam going so far at the end of that third quarter, coming into the fourth quarter, essentially really just on this drive. A nice run from Dot Williams there. It's very interesting to see that Jacksonville doesn't have a fullback, so they're going to use their tight end, and they're going to give him the rock a few times. I'm very impressed with that.
Bruin has plenty of time, fires it back to the other side, and that's incomplete. Dangerous throw there from O.J. Bruin as Khalil Thomas dives to knock it down. He's had 1 pick already this evening.
I think Bruin was really lucky that Thomas had his back turned to him there, because that was probably not a very advisable decision there to throw across your body again. Worked for him on their last touchdown drive, but that time definitely a very dangerous throw to make, and it hits Thomas essentially right in the back between the numbers. If he's facing 180 degrees, that's probably his 2nd interception.
Bruin trying to put some loft on it, but gets it batted down at the line. Great pressure from that front 4 of Charleston, and that brings up 3rd and long.
That's a great play by the defensive line. You know, usually when you get those kind of tips on the defensive line there, it's a really big bonus because they're just so rare to come by usually. You know, you don't really have quarterbacks throwing balls that those kind of defenders can really get to while they're also trying to rush the passer. So a very good play there from the Charleston defense. And now 3rd and 10.
Bruin on the run, fires incomplete. That was a missile that came out of the hands of O.J. Bruin and a little bit too hot for Joe Beasley.
Really, I think that might be the first, throw with some real venom put behind it that O.J. Bruin's had all night. And unfortunately, Beasley really just not able to reel that one in. Kind of had to jump up and try and get it with the one hand, but took a hit there over the middle from one of the Predators' defensemen and just not able to hang on to that one. Jacksonville hopefully looking for a coffin corner punt here.
Yep, trying to play the field position game as Price will get another punt off. Good coverage by Jacksonville, still fielded by Charleston, and out to the 22-yard line is Francis. Charleston Hasn't looked as crisp as we saw in that first quarter of play, but they still have a 6-point lead.
Yeah, and I think that's mostly to thank for their defense, honestly. They've gotten some nice turnovers that have really given them good field position so far across this game here. But you're right that the offense has played okay, but I don't think that they've played fantastically. You know, John Lakeman, 14 of 25 for only 146 yards. The running game has been decent, but still, under a total of 100 yards for all the backs combined. So really not too impressive from the Charleston offense. I think they've benefited a lot from some field position.
And Jacksonville has rebounded nicely against this run game as well, as Taylor Wright was taking the rock there for a gain of 1 on that last play, so 2nd and 9. We'll see if Charleston continues to run the football here. And they do. This time to Hoagland, who's trying to find some room, and Jacksonville closes in on him in a hurry. Alex Bond comes swooping in from a strong safety spot for a no gain.
I like the play calls here from Jacksonville. They're getting really aggressive against this run here because they know that Charleston's got the lead here. They really have to go out and get this ball back for their offense. And letting Hoagland and the rest of the Charleston Predators attack, really just run the ball down their throats, is not going to work. It's going to drain too much of the clock. They need to force Lakeman to throw the ball.
And Lakeman's got plenty of time here. Good pocket, near sideline, incomplete. It was tight coverage on Davius Reed. Couldn't quite thread the needle, and it's a 3-and-out here for Charleston.
And that's exactly why you need to focus it on the run, because when you get these 3rd and long situations, it allows you to only send 3 rushers towards John Lakeman and then drop everyone else back and maintain the pretty tight man coverage that they've been able to so far tonight. I think Jacksonville's corners really do need to be commended. They've done a decent job of locking up in this man coverage, being very hard for John Lakeman to throw on.
Another good punt by Blueberry as Beasley takes the return out to the 41-yard line of Jacksonville. And still a 6-point game. There is still plenty of time. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. Both teams looking for a win and looking for the first win as division foes.
Yeah, this could be a really big game for both of these teams because it's in the division now. You know, a divisional win is just so valuable, especially for Charleston, considering they lost to Florida already, so they've got 1 division loss on the resume here. Talking about the series as a whole, Jacksonville is 7-1 all time against Charleston here, so hopefully, they would definitely be looking to continue that trend.
Hand off to Carrion, trying to find room and is dragging defenders as he gets a good gain of 6 there, and that's a great point. Charleston looking for only the 2nd win all time in this series, and certainly leaves a bad taste in their mouth and looking to get, this Jacksonville Kings team, as you mentioned, in a rebuild of sorts. So it certainly is one of those games you circle on the calendar. Division foe, a team that is a winnable game, trying to rebound against a team that they have had trouble with over the course of time, as Sanders goes nowhere there for a 3rd and 3 coming out.
Yeah, this is definitely one that, Charleston, I'm sure, circled on their calendar and said, hey, guys, going into Florida week 1, I think that's a game that you can probably excuse if you lose. And the fact that they played them so closely in that game is definitely going to be a confidence booster for Charleston to say, yes, we do have, ambitions of going to the playoffs, being a championship contender here. But this game against Jacksonville is a game that we probably should win if we want to secure those credentials here. And Jacksonville's been keeping it really close. Shepard Vicarian, I am been really impressed with the second half turnaround. He's running a lot harder so far and breaking tackles, getting hard yards.
Getting a first down there for Jacksonville. Another delay, this time to Sanders. And he's dragging defenders as well. Both these running backs running very, very tough against this stout Charleston Predators defense. That's a gain of 7.
And it's exactly what they need to do here, because I really do think O.J. Bruin is going to need all the help that he can get. He has struggled so far tonight. 10 of 22 for 142 yards and 2 interceptions. He has had trouble throwing the ball so far tonight on this Predators defense. So the rest of the team is really going to have to step up around him and help him out.
Looking good there, and he gets first down yardage close to about maybe the 25, 30-yard line. It was a very good running game on this drive by the Kings.
Yeah, they've been running the ball very, very efficiently so far. I don't think O.J. Bruin has passed the ball once so far this drive here. Vicarian and Sanders have really been carrying the rock here, and they've gone from their own 40-yard line now to getting close to the red zone of Charleston. Definitely in a position here to try and get a touchdown, especially if O.J. Bruin can maybe complete a nice pass or two to really break open this defense.
Bruin to throw. Good pocket. Checks it down, and that's a gain of 6. Out to Connor Weston, who was a hot target for him in the first half. And it looks like Jacksonville's been trying to chew some clock here with this run game. It's been working effectively, and Bruin is confident and comfortable with just checking it down and taking what the defense is giving him.
Exactly, and that's so important when he's had the turnover problems that he's had so far today and in week 1. Ball security, just so important.
Vicarian, another to run, another first down, this time inside the SFL red zone we go, and setting up shop, 1st and 10.
Another tough run from Vicarian there. Manages to find a nice hole. I think the Jacksonville offensive line has really stepped up as well this second half. They're getting to the second level a lot better, blocking these Charleston linebackers that were doing such a good job shutting down this Kings rushing attack early on in the game here. And you can see it looking at the total yards for the second half. Jacksonville with the advantage now. It looks like they're really trying to hang tough with this one.
7th run play of the drive, as that goes for a short gain there. Stop made by John Stamengo, clearly emphasizing the run, as 7 of 8 plays have been runs.
And I like the play calling here to emphasize the run. When you get this kind of hot hand and you're able to pound the rock over and over, I really do like it when teams stick with that, get the momentum going.
Bruin has no shot at getting away there. A free rusher was Dan Dash, number 99, getting in there and making the stop, the former Queen City Corsair.
Wow, man, Dan Dash really just snuck through there. Yeah, the right guard there going for the double team up with the center against that defensive tackle there, and just lets Dan Dash come straight through the middle there and absolutely blow up that play in the backfield. O.J. Bruin had no time. He came off that drop and was essentially immediately getting dropped to the turf.
Sets up a 3rd and long. Bruin forced to throw into coverage, incomplete, looking for Weston, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Jacksonville, I don't know, it's borderline, might be 4-down territory here, or they might take the points.
I think they're probably going to take the points here, because I think that they've taken a lot of confidence from the fact that their defense has really been able to shut down Charleston this second half here. You can bring it to within a 3-point game here if you make this field goal.
37-yard attempt for Jordan Bradshaw. Snap gets down, kick is away, it is up, it is through. 20-17 now the score. Just over 4 minutes to go in regulation, and Jacksonville doing their best to make this a football game.
They have really, the second half has been very good for the Kings so far. I think they've really established something that they've liked on the ground game here. Vicarian has really been running hard. Sean Sanders also doing a nice job as a change of pace back from him. They've been able to run the ball well. I think the big question mark is still O.J. Bruin, though. He's struggling a lot to really complete passes, to get anything that isn't like a busted coverage, or when he has like 10 seconds in the pocket and the zone coverage from Charleston just kind of breaks down and then he's got a free receiver he can kind of aim at. Beyond that, he has really struggled to fit tight windows, to get his throws out on time and find his receivers in advantageous positions.
Francis with the return. It makes it up to the 30-yard line. We will toss it over to SFL HQ for a game break. Cam, what's going on?
Thanks, Eric. The final seconds of drama in Carolina as the Skyhawks were down 6, trying to win the game with no timeouts with a touchdown, but that pass to Chris Curtis and then this dump off to Ike McBride, ill-advised, gives Carolina zeros on the clock and an 0-2 start. 23-17, Swarm get the win. Back to you.
Thank you, Cam, as Lakeman fires it to Warner. Another diving attempt there for a short gain. And, man, we've had a couple good games here to kick off Saturday evening's action here in the SFL.
It's been very good. 2 tight games so far. Looking forward to the slate of games later tonight. I think those are also going to be very good games here. Lakeman has, I think, really struggled actually with the accuracy on these short passes over the middle. Another one there where he kind of lays it basically at the feet of Warner. He's got to immediately go down to go get it.
Handoff up the middle. Good for another short game, but close to first down yardage as Sutherland gets it there. It's about 3rd and 2 or so. And this is a big 3rd down here for Jacksonville's defense.
Yeah, they really need to stand tall here and get another stop to get the ball back for their offense, because time is starting to run low on them here. The sand in the hourglass is slipping away. I'm not going to be as bold as I did last time and predict a run and then have them come out in a pass, but I think either way, it's going to be really tight play here.
It is a handoff and stoned right at the line of scrimmage. Big number 55, John Martin, coming in there like a cannon.
That was a fantastic stuff there on the run. I think that the Charleston rushing attack, they were getting a good push on the offensive line there to really try and open up a spot there. And then, as you said, John Martin flies into the gap, gets the initial hit on, and then Tigga Clay is able to kind of clean up the play there. And now Jacksonville's going to get the ball back with a decent amount of time here. It could be
stop by the Kings there on third down. I'm sorry to cut you off there, but definitely a key stop there to stop them on 3rd and short when they've been running the football pretty well here this evening.
No, you read my mind. This is a very key stop for Jacksonville to make here. And now they get the ball back basically with a chance to end the game here if they get a touchdown drive going. And, really going to have to look at O.J. Bruin, though. He's going to have to, step up. This is the kind of drive that you want your franchise quarterback to be able to go down the field, get a touchdown, and get out of here with this win for Jacksonville.
Statistically speaking, this has become a very even match as Bruin will throw. Weston with the one-handed grab, a clutch first down there by Connor Weston, moving the sticks for Duval.
Weston's over double-digit targets so far tonight for Jacksonville. He has been the key piece for this passing attack of O.J. Bruin here. And a nice route run over the middle there. Good catch from Weston. I think Bruin might have misplaced it ever so slightly, but Weston able to reach out the one hand, reel it in here. And that's a really good play to start off this drive here. Get the momentum, get O.J. Bruin settled in, build up his confidence a little bit here.
Creeping towards the 2-minute warning here in Charleston. Bruin under center, and he will let it go to that 2-minute warning. What a ball game here from Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston 20, Jacksonville 17. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We are live on YouTube. Eric Vincent alongside Brandon Walters, Damon Simeon, and Frank Gooden in the stats truck for us this evening. A very hotly contested East Division matchup between these two teams. As Bruin will hand it off. Vicarian trying to bounce it near sideline. Good stiff arm and gets somersaulted by the defender. Only a short gain of 1.
It's an impressive tackle. That the Kings' rushing attack has really relied on those draw plays all game here. You've seen the vast majority of the running plays that they've called have been draw plays to Vicarian mostly. That's a very good tackle there from Mark Martin again, providing a lot of good run support here as a cornerback. I'm sure that Charleston's going to be very happy with the work that he's put in on that outside boundary.
Clock continuing to tick away. Bruin with time. Fires to Weston near sideline. Tight man coverage by Jacob Clear, but it is a first down catch nonetheless.
I think that Connor Weston is absolutely the key component here. He's been having a really good game so far. 7 catches for 99 yards now for him so far this game. And, O.J. Bruin has been looking his way all night so far tonight. If Charleston can shut him down, I think they might get a stop here. But if not, Jacksonville might be on their way to really steal a game here at the end.
Vicarian gets a 3-yard run past the 40-yard line. Jacksonville content to just let this clock roll. They don't want to give Lakeman and company too much time to complete a comeback.
I think you probably need about 10 more yards to really be in comfortable field goal range here, though.
I'd say that's fair. Bruin will throw. Good pocket. He's going to take off and run. He's going to get near the first down marker. Low mark of just shy, 3rd and 1.
That's a really impressive run from O.J. Bruin. I think for the offensive coordinator, it probably doesn't do any wonders for his heart, because when you don't see your quarterback slide like that, that's a really risky play, because if you fumble the ball here, the game is over.
Clock continues to tick away. Vicarian going to get the first down, and finally we will see a timeout from Jacksonville, and that'll be the first of 3 timeouts. 12 seconds to go, and man, oh man, they were really rolling there, letting the clock tick away.
Certainly very confident with the clock.
Definitely. In field goal range from just outside the 30-yard line. Bruin to throw. He's going to get thrown down, but that might be a face mask.
It's a face mask.
Would be huge. It is! What a terrible play by the Charleston defender. Number 25 getting in there. Adam Nold on a corner blitz, and that will give a first down and 15 yards for Jacksonville.
The highs and the lows here for Charleston. The crowd was on their feet screaming because O.J. Bruin getting sacked there might have knocked them out of field goal range, but instead a backbreaker face mask penalty from
Jordan Bradshaw lining up for the game-tying field goal after that clutch Joe Beasley catch along the near sideline. The kick is up. The kick is good. And we are going to overtime here. 000 is hitting the clock. We got free football, everybody.
And that's exactly the kind of drive that the Kings needed here. O.J. Bruin doing good work. That pass to Joe Beasley. What a fantastic catch on the sideline there. You know, that's his first catch of the game here. And to make the impact that he made with that one catch really, you know, sealed the fact that Jacksonville was going to kick this field goal. And now we're going into overtime. And the Kings have a lot of momentum here. This really could go either way.
The Kings have all the momentum at this point. That was a clutch drive by O.J. Bruin to lead them down the field, not calling any of their timeouts until they absolutely needed to. And then that clutch throw and clutch catch by Joe Beasley along that near sideline to get to the 3-yard line, calling a timeout with 3 seconds to go. And here we are in overtime. Jacksonville winning the toss with all of the momentum that they have. And this is your first SFL overtime game of season 22, folks. So buckle in, strap in. It's going to be fun. Fielded from just a yard inside of the end zone up to about the 30-yard line is Jonathan Haynes. First score, first wins here in the SFL, sudden death overtime.
Jacksonville's going to get the ball here. And considering the fact that they were able to drive down the field really well and score on their last drive here, there of regulation, I think Jacksonville's got to be feeling pretty good here. You know, OJ's still having a little bit of trouble throwing the ball, but the running game really has come alive to support him here.
This Jacksonville offense has come to life in the second half to force overtime. Handoff goes to Vicarian. The run game has been very, very good, and not particularly on that play as Charleston stones him with only a couple yards to gain.
A nice tackle from John Stamango. Vicarian really has been making a living off of getting these draw plays and getting a little bit of time to build up some steam before running over first contact. But that time Stamango says, "Nuh-uh, you're coming down to the ground."
As you get a look at the rushing stats, 101 yards compared to 36 yards from the Kings to the Predators. And that's a huge advantage there for the Kings. They finally found their run game, but Charleston, I guess, made some adjustments leading into overtime. They are not allowing a single thing third and long now.
A fantastic tackle from Khalil Thomas, the guy whose name we've been calling all night. It seems like he's everywhere, you know, interceptions, tackles, really been doing a good job here. And now OJ's going to have to throw the ball.
Charleston's backing off on their coverage. Bruin throws it, caught by Weston. He makes another grab, and that's a first down near midfield.
Connor Weston is making a good argument for himself to be MVP of this game, especially if Jacksonville goes on to win here. He's been targeted so many times by O.J. Bruin that you would think at some point Charleston would be able to key in on him and shut him down, but no, he keeps managing to make these tough catches, take the hits that he's been getting from this Charleston secondary, and really, really been a reliable target for O.J. Bruin here.
double-digit targets, over 100 yards receiving as Vakarian gets the carry, and he is continuing to run angrily here in the second half and into overtime for a 6-yard gain.
Jacob Clear there that time. All the safeties for Charleston have really been trying to shut down Vakarian recently, but that time, unlike Stamango being able to tackle him for only a short game, he manages to pull Jacob Clear along with him there, get a nice 6-yard run, and now you can really still be able to run the ball here on 2nd and 3rd down. Keeps your playbook much more open.
Tension building in this building as Sanders gets a carry and he gets a first down out across the 40-yard line. It has been a raucous atmosphere here in Charleston at Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium, and man, the Charleston faithful are on their feet right now trying to will their Predators to a win.
Absolutely. When you come out here on an overtime defense, sometimes you might worry that your crowd is going to get a little bit tired because there's just so much of a game going on here. But they have been absolutely electric here, trying to, really just will this defense to get a stop.
Bruin retreats in the pocket, looking, uncorks one over the middle, and that's Weston once again. Another first down for Jacksonville. They are in field goal range and a fresh set of downs to boot.
Really great pass there. OJ had a lot of time there, kind of rolls out of the pocket, just trying to keep his eyes downfield as much as possible. And even though he knows he's probably going to take a shot from one of those free rushers coming in, still manages to find Weston on that long developing route there. And now, they've really been in a rhythm here. That's very surprising to see no passing yards to the left so far this entire game for OJ Bruin. As a left-handed quarterback especially, I think you would definitely not expect that.
Absolutely. And it's been great defense. It's not even like Charleston's not playing great defense. They have been on the hip pocket of all of these receivers, and it has just been great catches made by the Kings as Bruin is going to check it down over the middle this time. That catch is made for 4 yards. That's Kingston Ellington, who's been fairly quiet this evening. And man, oh man, it's looking a lot like Jacksonville is going to steal this game on the road.
They're definitely moving here right on the edge of the red zone now. But again, when you get into these, when the field shortens up like this, it really assists the defense out a lot here. And Charleston has shown that some good backbone so far this game. So they might be able to stiffen up and get a stop here.
And they stiffened up on that second down as Dot Williams got inches shy to the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and very, very short. And that is pretty much all she wrote for Jacksonville. They will bring on the field goal unit for a 31-yard attempt. This to win the game. Snap is down. Bradshaw boots it up. Bang. It is good. 23-20, the final score in overtime. Jacksonville gets their first win of the season.
What a fantastic comeback, Coming in through that first half, we had a lot of questions about how well Jacksonville was going to play. OJ was not throwing the ball well. The running game of Sanders and Vakarian had no traction whatsoever. It looked like Charleston might have a chance to really break this game open here at home and walk away with an easy victory. But talk about the resilience in that second half to really get moving, make this comeback, which was a struggle for them, have a long drive at the end of the 4th quarter to get in field goal range, bring this game to overtime, and then finish it off with that long drive there.
They rebounded so well, comparatively speaking, to the first half. Jacksonville did, outgaining Charleston by a lot as far as the rushing yards are concerned in the second half. And then into overtime. Time possession as well, into overtime as well. They started to keep focusing on that run game. As you see, Vakarian with 70 yards on the ground. So a very hard-fought divisional win here from Jacksonville, and then back-to-back 23-20 losses by Charleston, and that's got to be gut-wrenching, especially taking the champs to the ropes, basically, almost stealing one on the road there, and then at home losing to a division rival, and that's back-to-back division losses on top of it.
Exactly. You lose your first 2 opening games, both to division rivals, both in close games, and it's got to be frustrating at some point, we got to get over this hurdle and turn these close losses into wins because, there's only so many games in the season here, and starting off this rough, you kind of have to question a little bit, okay, how many wins are we going to need to get into the playoffs? And how many wins are we going to need to start rattling off here in order to really secure our position and be a championship contender that we think we are?
Final score here from Charleston, 23-20. Jacksonville pulls off the upset on the road. On behalf of Brandon Walters, Damon Simeon, and Frank Goodman, the Stats Truck, my name is Eric Vincent. We want to thank you for tuning into this presentation of the Simulation Football League. Stay tuned for more action to come later this weekend. Good night, everybody.